Okay.
Yes, perfect.
All right. So this is our presentation. Our title is Exploring Neighbourness and Intercultural Challenges in Higher Education, Views of Teachers and Students. This is actually a multinational European Union Erasmus Plus project results. Our research based on these results. So our other authors, Ilona, Karlis, Maura, Stephan, and Williams are from different countries. They are Ilona from Finland, Karlis from Latvia, Maura from Italy, and Stephan from Germany, and Williams from Denmark. Let's move on. The next slide. Vlan is as I said before, an Erasmus project. The long name is Intercultural Communication and Neighbourness Learning. This is the project website. If you want to get more information about the Vlan project, you may look at our website at Vlan Project EU. The next slide. In Vlan Project, we have 5 partners. The Tampare University is the coordinator. University of Cattolica, Sacred Heart from Milan, Italy. Suleyman University from Turkey. Aalborg University from Denmark. Riga Technical University from Latvia, and Film University at Babelsberg from Germany. Those are the partners of the project. Let's give some more information about the Vlan project. This is a project that aims to find students in higher education to support them in neighborness skills in a multicultural learning environment. We study neighborness practices and create instructions for both teachers and students to improve their intercultural competencies, to make them feel better, both digital and physical learning environments. The project received funding from European Union, as I said, from Erasmus Plus program, and it will end in summer 2020. Our aims are raise awareness to the importance of intercultural and neighborness skills as a global world, build framework for both neighborness and intercultural competency skills, develop online and offline toolkit for teachers who teach diverse environments, and to test those toolkits in different pedagogical learning environments and disseminate our results in using multiplier events. Let's move on our research, exploring neighborness and intercultural challenges in higher education. Our research was about views from teachers and students who are joined to the teaching and learning in multicultural environment. Maybe I may ask these questions to dive into the details of the multicultural environment. For example, do you have any intercultural students now or international students in your classroom? So, could you tell us how about your experiences with those students in terms of diversity and multicultural point of view?
Yeah, in fact, I have this kind of experience that we had a multicultural kind of students available there. So it was slightly difficult to deal with them because whatever is normal for one culture, it may be a little different for the other. I can just give you a quick example of this that I normally quote, that there was one student from one of the countries, and in their country it's quite normal. When during his capstone project, the final year project, he was asked a question that, can you explain this? So he didn't know the answer. So he was just thinking. And then he asked the teacher, do you know the answer to this? So the teacher, obviously the assessor, he said, yes, I know it. He said, oh, if you already know it, why you are asking me then?
Oh,
so you can expect anything out of it.
Right.
So
do you have any international students in your class?
Actually, but they're not taking the situation from that perspective. They're just trying to adopt themselves. Most of them are Syrian refugee kind of groups, and I don't myself have a specific experience
With them?
got words telling.
How about the language barriers? Any language barriers you face?
To be a real obstacle actually, but they are trying to keep up with the pace of our classes and trying to overcome the language barrier by their own initiatives, most probably.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to understand my presentation, but I don't have the real background, what's going on, whether they really understand or not.
Okay, so for me, I used to have both experiences as a student and as a teacher, as a professor at the university, because I got my master's and PhD from University of Florida, because it was the first place that I went out abroad as a student, and then it was a different, diverse multicultural environment that I was taking courses. For example, when I was taking a course, we had students from Japan, from Arabic countries, Egypt and Kuwait, and also there were students from South America. In this environment, when the teacher set up groups, and then there was a student from Japan. We were discussing a situation that we are going to present in the classroom. But the Japanese students was telling something, the idea that I was not agree with. So I just object what she was saying. That after that she was very upset because the way I expressed that I am not agree with her, it wasn't appropriate in her culture. So that was very shocking. It was shocking for me.
The style was more important than the message itself.
Yeah, and then she was upset, and then she trying to not contributing to the presentation after that. So I understood that she was angry with my approach to her, based on that I am not agree with her. So the other thing is I used to teach in diverse classroom. For example, currently I have 3 students from Middle Asia countries, and one was from Africa. So I was having the same experience with them. I was always approaching them to understand their situation, because they came from different cultural backgrounds. So I was always trying to help them to understand the situation, and then to understand, to engage with each other, to understand each other's culture. So sometimes I ask them any difficulties they are experiencing and trying to help them. But for example, the student from Africa has different background, both culturally and the point of view to the world, and students from Middle Asia has different backgrounds, and I ask them, for example, their eating habits, and they have different experiences, and sometimes they cannot understand each other, because I have one student from Turkey, so he's approaching them in a different way, but they are not accepting what he's approaching. So this is at the beginning, this is very hard to manage, but by the time when you got experiences, you will get used to it. So
what's your suggestion for us as a golden rule to avoid any misunderstanding?
Yeah, that's a good question. This project is about it. Yeah, we are developing toolkits how to manage and how to deal with these kind of situations. So our toolkits are very good. We have toolkits on our website that you can look at our toolkits, see how to improve your cultural competencies, and then there are different scenarios that you could look at, and then based on those scenarios, how to approach the students based on the
language. I think is the biggest barrier in the diverse cultural environment. Like teacher from another culture not having English as first language, student from another culture not having English as first language, and both are communicating in a language which is like different from each other.
yeah. And also the classroom environment. When I was in the United States, the students are so cool in the classroom. They just eat whatever they want to eat. They just sit whatever they want. Even in the floor, they just sit and then interact with the teacher.
During the class?
Yeah, during the classroom.
Yeah.
They're so.
From Africa? Students from Africa?
Yeah, they are much more respectful, and then they obey the rules in general. In general.
Like I had experience in China. I was undergoing my PhD, and one day morning, teacher came in his shorts and wearing their slippers.
Yes.
It was pretty normal for them, but I cannot think as a teacher of going to my class.
You are right. In the United States, teachers can come to the classroom with shorts. Yeah, teachers can come to the classroom as like wearing short and slippers, and then teach to the classroom. But when I was teaching a graduate course, I invited a friend from United States, a colleague from United States, to join my video conference as a guest lecturer. There was a time difference between United States, and he was from University of Wisconsin Madison. It was around 1 a.m. in the middle of night, and then he wake up and then dressed and with formal tie and stuff like that. I was surprised because I wasn't expect that he was wearing that kind of suit at that time. I asked, "Why, Michael? Why are you dressed like that?" Because in the United States it's not common. So he said, "I know Turkey and Turkish cultures. If I don't dress like this, they are not gonna respect me." Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Good morning.
You had 10 minutes. We have spent 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I will move faster. Okay, what's intercultural competences? It is the ability to communicate effectively and appropriately in intercultural situations based on intercultural knowledge, skills, and attitudes. This is the neighborness definition. It refers to ability to for a group of people from different cultures, social, and economic backgrounds to coexist, learn together, and assist each other. And show of culturally and socially economically driven biases. So this is the definition of neighborness. It's a kind of neighborness in real life, but in addition, digital environments. So let's move on. Our motivation for this research and project, there is a rise all over the globe from mobility, immigrants and migrations all over the world, migration problems, and people are moving from the countries from Africa and Middle East to the European countries, and then there is a growing diversity on those countries because of those migrations, and also there is an Erasmus mobility agreement between European countries and then other countries, program countries and other countries. So there is a growing number of students in the classroom, which lead those classrooms in a diverse learning environments. So increase in multicultural classrooms and increase internet connectivity. Both we have face-to-face and online diversity in our learning environments. So studies shown that foreign students lack international competencies and makes it difficult for them to adopt their new learning environments in different countries. And also students point out that the ethnocentricity does make it difficult for some local students to develop intercultural sensitivity as a resulting the lack of intercultural competencies. So the other point is there is a need for global citizenship course in tertiary education, in higher education, as a means developing the intercultural competencies, competence studies, and competence for students. Our purpose is to provide an overview into the relevance of neighborness in multicultural classroom and challenges in the classroom that shows absence of neighborness in the classroom. So we used qualitative research method in this descriptive study. There we developed semi-structured interviews, 19 questions for teachers and 16 questions for students. We selected participants in one Vlan Project members who has teaching responsibilities and a teacher who is not involved in Vlan projects and who has the international teaching experiences. And native students involved in the cultural courses and also an exchange students from first year degree from abroad. Those are our criteria to select our participants. Those are the number of teachers who participated the study and number of students who participated the study from Denmark, Italy, Germany, Latvia, and Finland, and Turkey. So Denmark, there are 2 teachers and 2 students participated to the study. Italy, 2 teachers and 2 students. Germany, 2 teachers and 2 students. Latvia, 3 teachers and 3 students. And Finland, 1 teacher and 1 student. And Turkey, 2 students and 2 teachers. Those are the questions for teachers, and then questions for students, and also questions for both. Teachers and students interviews in both partner universities. Interviews transcribed in English and analyzed with Atlas TI software, context analysis and categorizations based on the interview questions and neighbornesses we made. Teachers, those are the information that I presented before. Let's look at the finding themes. Engaging and interactive teaching, learning from others with different cultural backgrounds. Teachers with a global mindset show examples to the students and use technologies to support distance learning. Those are the strengths of being in multicultural or diverse classroom, and challenges that they face. Supporting students in student orientation in ways of learning and working in the study classroom, developing required neighborness and skills and awareness of them along the studies, and getting international students mix the locals and the local students. From students' perspectives, the participant students comes from a large range of countries from Middle East, Africa, and as well as America. So the motivation of students is building elements for their future career to move on the other countries. And the most common motivation for international study was mentioned as an opportunity to experience something new and new ideas. That was the reason for students to move on the other countries and then take courses from diverse backgrounds. The quality of education also another reason that they move from the other countries. Adventure of learning new learning and new things. That's another reason for their motivation. And also many students study international study because they want to improve as personally away from their family and friends. Teachers who interviewed has a mixture. 70% were local teachers, 30% were international students. 70% of teachers has local students and 30% of teachers has international students. And also they have, some of them has international teaching experiences, the other one does not. And some of them also received intercultural pedagogical training, but not all of them. Northern countries, in general, they use problem-based teaching as a common international courses. Other countries, other universities, the studies on can focus on larger projects, and interaction happens in a traditional classroom settings. Interviews describe the intercultural and global mindset as openness to the different cultures and willingness to understand others. Openness and curiosity are often mentioned as characteristics of global mindset. In addition to being open, global mindset is readiness to take action, whether it is to help others to communicate with them effectively or adjust one's own actions to better suit express expectations of others. And also interviews agrees on that international academic programs should focus on developing global mindset of their students and thus educate future global citizens. There is also some of the interviews feels that language is not barrier for them, but some of them sees language as a barrier for intercultural in the intercultural classroom. Those are the examples that I would say in this part, and other things that I may say here. Let's move on because I do not have enough time, I guess. Being open, in addition to communication, being open to others and understand them is essential in a diverse classroom. For these skills to develop some kind of international exposures is essential. That means that if you have an experience in diverse classroom, you are going to be open to others and you will be more tolerant to others. Good international teachers as being able to understand well people from different cultures and being able to help them help students understand each others. That's the basic features, basic competencies for a good international teachers. A good international teachers also has both global mindset and helps students to build their build one for themselves. Many interviews mentioned that to be able to understand other cultures, you must understand your own culture. That's another key feature that we had from the study. Teachers need to be able to guide students for their journey, learning not only other cultures, but also their own culture. Skills of a global citizen, taking the global mindset into individual skills, understanding and curiosity of others, having strong communication skills, being open to others, understand them essential. International exposure is also essential. One is able to understand culture shock without experiencing it. Gaining international experience and helping others with them are aspect of successful life in international settings. And further considerations, teachers have a big role in engaging students in interactions, especially getting international and local students to mix seems to be required for teachers' intervention. International teachers needs to be good teachers with good intercultural and neighborness skills. Students need to support both at the beginning and at the end of the international education experience to be able to develop their neighborness skills and to be aware of international experience impact. Those are the exams are that we got from our research. Thank you for listening because I'm running out of my time, so I moved a little bit faster. Sorry about that, but thank you for listening. Any questions?